was before, 0.4 ounces, 0.5 ounces, who knows? But yeah, some of the companies are doing that. It's called shrinkflation, and a lot of manufacturers use that technique. A lot of retailers do. Here's an example, Oreo. You may find Mondelez International. Oreo raised its prices a couple of months ago, about 7% across the country. That still wasn't enough to make up for its higher cost that it was incurring at the top end of the chain. And so we decided, instead of adding on another 3 or 4% price increase, it rolled out a 110th birthday chocolate confetti cake cookie. Right? These were Oreo cookies which were about 10 cents more per package than regular Oreos or even double-stuffed Oreos. And there were fewer in the bag. They cost about the same to manufacture, so Mondelez was making a little more money on those to make up some of the shortfall at the top end of the production line. So, yeah, if you saw these packages right next to each other, double stuffed for $3.69 for a 30-count package, next to the birthday Oreos, $3.79 for a 24-count cookie package, you might start to wonder what's going on here.
Yeah, you might start to wonder, and then you also have to wonder, is this a sign of things to come? Did they put that out there because they thought, let's just see if people will pay this little bit extra for fewer cookies?
Sure, yeah, and I think you can expect more of that. It's been going on forever, and it's likely to continue for some time. Remember when you used to be able to fly with no baggage fees, then you just throw them on, you could expect a meal in flight? Those things have gone away, and I think it's a reflection of what's happening more broadly across the whole economy. Things cost more. We accept those fees, we accept those added costs, and before long, we don't even remember what it was like when we had those luxuries.
That's the thing. When you buy something like a bag of potato chips, usually you just go along and you go, okay, great, there are my whatever, Cheetos, and you grab the bag and you put it in the cart. But when's the last time that you actually stopped and looked and saw, I would like to see exactly how much I am paying per ounce for this bag? I mean, do you ever really stop and read the little cards that are on the shelves that tell you what you're paying per ounce, that kind of thing? And I'm wondering if now we're going to start paying more attention to that and noticing, hey, last week I paid, 60 cents an ounce for this bag. This week I'm paying 70 cents an ounce for this bag. Or I'm paying the same price, but now the ounce on the bag is smaller.
Sure. Well, I think some consumers are starting to do that, in a way. They're not looking at the price per ounce. They're looking at other costs that they've been paying. Frontier Airlines added a $1.59 per flight segment COVID-related fee not too long ago. Consumers started, their passengers were complaining about that. It's supposed to be a budget airline, a discount airline, and people were upset. So Frontier said, forget it, we'll just stop adding that fee on. We'll try to make it up somewhere else. But I think the airlines have kind of been on the forefront of this for a long time. Sure, the packaged good companies are following suit, but it's all across the industries, really.
And I think for me, it's easier to pay the money when I think that at least an airline's putting it right there on my ticket, that one of the service fees is I'm paying this extra $1.59, and if this is my way of helping get through the pandemic, okay, sure, I'll pony up. But when I think that a company is trying to be shady and sneak something by, changing the pack, that's a different story.
Yeah, I think you're right. If it seems like something that's surreptitious or sort of slipped past you, then I think you're right. Consumers see that, and they're not too happy about it. If they're upfront about it, if the companies are, then I think it might be a little more acceptable. And yeah, you start thinking, well, I'm contributing to the economy. I'm helping out this industry that needs a hand, and so why not?
Absolutely. Jim, thank you as always. See ya.
All right. See you, Jen.
All right. This is KFI and KOSCHD2 Los Angeles. Jeff Bogg, good morning. What's up on the 405?
Good morning, Jen. Boy, getting gypped on chips, it's so wrong. 405, if that's where you are, good morning. Pretty good drive now coming down from the 118 up and over the big hill. Not too bad at all. Inland, San Bernardino County, all that checking in okay. The Corona Anaheim run now, it's getting a little bit slow. It's a little bit better than usual. But the westbound 1 coming over towards the 241, it's okay. The westbound 210 coming out of Laverne, boy, the usual stuff there. 57,605 getting kind of slow. And careful now, Angeles Forest at Aliso Canyon. This is the Acton side of the hill. Be careful up in the mountains. But a crash has been reported there, and emergency help is on the way. Please be careful. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
I was just reading about mortgage lending rates and how inexpensive they are. Historically, they stay that way. In the meantime, inflation has slammed us. The Fed is going to raise rates, and it has not yet hit interest mortgage rates. So what's happening? Well, historically low rates. At the same time, equity very high in your home because of property values. And you've got a pile of money of equity, and it's doing nothing. Why wouldn't you borrow against the equity and put the money to work? You're paying 3%. You're getting 5% in an investment. Doesn't that make sense? Or you're remodeling or college tuition, any reason, and you're paying so little for that money. It makes sense. HMS Capital, the only lender I know that actually encourages you to apply with multiple lenders at the same time. They're that confident they can get you the best deal. I've done 2 mortgages with HMS Capital. No problem recommending them. Call 833-255-5698, 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com.
HMS Capital Funding is a DBA of Golden Empire Inc. MNLS ID number 2427. HMS Capital is licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. License number 4130360. Equal housing lender.
And
If you've ever ordered food for work, you understand it's different. There's just so much more at stake. Whether it's a meeting, a client call, or lunch with the office, if it has to arrive at the actual lunchtime, food for work has to work. That's why there's EasyCater. Food that's on time and as ordered from over 82,000 restaurants. And if there's a problem, rare, you can reach someone in seconds.
Thank you for calling EasyCater.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but EasyCater just does. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. When my clients need solar, I call Sunlux. The best design, service, and equipment, and hands down the best warranty in the industry. Other companies sound confident, but Sunlux gives you real guarantees. If your solar ever fails to produce what it was designed to, Sunlux will pay the difference in your electric bill. That is the Sunlux difference, and it's why I say there are only 2 kinds of solar companies in Southern California, Sunlux and everyone else. Start saving money today at sunlux.com. That's sunlux.com. CSLB 1008374.
And I just learned that Russian skater Kamila Valieva, who is skating despite that positive drug test in the Olympics, has just moved into first place after her short program. We'll see if she medals or not. Your SoCal weather from KFI. We've got a high surf advisory in effect today, as well as a wind advisory. Mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and highs from the mid-50s to low 60s. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the News starts now.
Handle on the News. Handle on the News. And now, here's Bill Handel.
Good morning, everybody. Bill Handel here on a Tuesday morning, February the 15th. As we start the show, good morning first, Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Hello, Handel.
Good morning. Jen's back, feeling much better, hopefully.
Yes.
And Wayne, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Alex, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Alex and I got into it this morning. It was wonderful. I lost the argument. How unusual, huh? I am so used to that.
Used to what? Losing arguments?
Yeah, especially with women. Go figure. Tyler, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
All right, that's the whole crowd. What is going on? Pretty good news in the Ukraine world. And the Rams are going to hold a victory parade in L.A. tomorrow. And they're going to be cheering. The whole crowd is going to be cheering along the parade route. How many people show up to those things?
They're huge,
I mean,
usually.
like, a couple million people, or hundreds of thousands, or 4 people, or...
Usually they're
Somewhere
big.
in between the low number you said and the high number you said.
Yeah, and they throw things at Rams on the big buses. Where do you get those big open buses, too?
Oh, they have them all over the place.
Do they? Oh, yeah.
Go down to Hollywood.
That's right. All those buses, those tour buses.
Yeah.
Yeah, those open tour buses. Yeah, okay. Got
Do
it.
you think Dodgers fans and Lakers fans are going to try to slip in and get some parade credit since they couldn't have victory parades?
No.
Oh, it's true, since this will be the first one since the start of the pandemic.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that on Thursday after Wednesday with the parade. Okay, guys, you ready to do it?
Yes, sir.
It's Handle on the News. Jennifer Jones-Lee, Wayne Resnick, and me. Lead story. If you want to be the teacher. Boy, while the rest of the country is unraveling masks, California is keeping the school masking requirements for now. California being the strictest state, and I think LA County being the strictest county in the country in terms of masking requirement. I can't keep up with what the CDC says about all this. It changes on a daily basis. Can't even argue with local governments or state governments. They can't keep up. Mask, yes, no. Schools, hybrid classes, yes, no. Next, and then when they have these masking requirements, oh, that's over next Tuesday. And so we only have 4 more days, or we're going to go into March sometime.
And to prove your point, this is going to be reassessed on February 28th. So this is only for the next 13 days. The school requirement.
It's just crazy.
The problem is he's not saying, I'll give a little credit here to LA County because Barbara Ferrer said, like, this mask requirement goes away when these specific numbers are here. So you could watch independently the metrics and know, are the masks coming off or not? The state, he's like, we'll reevaluate in a couple of weeks. Okay, what metrics do you want to see that will let us know that you're going to? Well, we're not talking about that. We're just going to reassess. We're going to look at everything.
You also have the Fed. You also had the Fed, the CDC, coming down with its either requirements or recommendation. And look at Barbara Ferrer's hair. On top of that
is a cheap shot.
That's not cheap shot. I didn't say that wasn't pejorative.
That obviously
that was not pejorative.
Deep jealousy.
Oh, that's a given. But
he has hair.
You know, not at all. Not pejorative at all. Doesn't she look like little orphan Annie?
Oh my God.
Oh
wow.
My goodness.
Why are you picking on someone?
I'm not. I'm making a point. That wasn't pejorative. That merely was and isn't it?
Okay. Well, in any event. All right, let's staying in schools for at least 2 more weeks.
All right, so Handel was talking about this possible, really cautious optimism that Russia says some of its troops are being pulled back from the border with Ukraine. Now, that's the first part of the story. Where are they going? Are they being replaced? Is this the moving of the chess pieces? Because we do have satellite imagery that saw, yes, troops are on the move. Where are they going? We don't have that information. Right. So you're right. There is extreme, of course, we want to have any optimism that we possibly can. But is this just, hey, we're just moving things around? But what we can say is we're moving troops. That is
9 o'clock, I'm going to dive into it a little bit more. And there is some information and some analysis out there. The problem is it's mixed analysis.
Yeah.
So that's coming up at 9.
As you mentioned, the victory parade for Super Bowl champion LA Rams will be tomorrow. It's going to go through mostly the Exposition Park area of the city, beginning at the Shrine Auditorium. That's on West Jefferson. You want to get out your, what are those things? Your Thomas guide?
Oh, yeah.
And then it'll go over to the LA Memorial Coliseum. And then there'll be a rally in a plaza outside the stadium. And the Dodgers fans and the Lakers fans are a little jealous because they didn't get to have parades because of the pandemic.
So where do they put the portable toilets?
All over the place.
Are those? I've never been to one of those parades.
Yeah.
And I probably never will. But there's plenty of toilet facilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a good job.
And, okay, let me throw the mask.
We still don't know what time it's going to start.
No, I don't have that. I want to throw the mask monkey wrench into this. Here's the story that we have. LA County will probably be able to lift its outdoor mask wearing requirement by midweek. What's midweek to you guys?
Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday at
whatever time.
2 p.m. Yeah, that's midweek.
Okay. So are you supposed to wear a mask to the parade?
Does it matter either way?
Here's the thing. Is the parade considered a mega event given the very large area over which the attendees...
Oh.
I mean, when you talk about mega event, you're usually talking about a stadium.
Right, an enclosed event. Even though it's open, it's still an enclosed area.
This is I'm assuming multiple miles of a parade route.
Also, how do you... Assuming that they are going to enforce, or they should enforce, how do you enforce... Well, you're right. 3 miles of parade route with 500,000 people there.
Yeah, they did a great job at the actual Super Bowl.
Yeah. They do a great job.
There.
2 people were wearing masks, Barbara Ferrer being one, and did the governor wear one? I think this time he did. Who knows? All right. We have lots and lots of handle on the news. Checking with Jennifer Jones-Lee.
The head of the Pentagon starts an overseas trip today about Russia's military buildup around Ukraine. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin will stop in Belgium, then head to Poland and Lithuania to talk to leaders in each country. More than 1,400 workers in New York City are out of a job. They were officially fired after refusing to get vaccinated against COVID-19. And Texas is launching a new lawsuit against Facebook. The Attorney General says the social media giant's violating a privacy protection by using facial recognition technology on users without their consent. I've got your drive on the 710 in just a moment.
If you're looking to sell your house, you want out, maybe you've inherited a home and you don't know what to do with it. Now, usually you go to a real estate broker and the house is listed, 6%. And the broker says, here's what you have to do. You have to clean, you have to paint, you have to repair. House has to be spotless. And we're going to bring prospective buyers through your house, and you have to be out of there. That is no fun at all. So let me tell you a different way of doing it. DirectBuyers.com. None of that hassle. No buyer walks through. You can still live like a slob. It all works out. And you're going to get a fair price for the house, too. And you can pay paid in cash within 10 days or less. DirectBuyers.com. They'll give you an honest, no-obligation offer. They'll get you a $15,000 cash advance before closing to help with your move, and they'll never, ever lowball you. I just like the way they do business. Go to DirectBuyers.com, DirectBuyers.com. Call 844-242-SELL, DirectBuyers.com.
SoCal weather from KFI, mostly cloudy and windy with a chance of showers and highs from the mid-50s to the lower 60s. This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places like the 710.
Good morning. Coming through Southgate now. Be careful. North 710 Imperial Highway. This happens way too much, but a small fire has been reported alongside the freeway, so just be careful going through. They might block a lane. We'll follow up on it for you. I will follow up on a crash in the mountains, though. Sounds pretty serious. Angeles Forest at Aliso Canyon. It's on the Acton side of the hill now. CHP is on scene helping out. I understand you can't get through, but a little slow. And going through Chino, westbound 60, Phillips Ranch, just past 71. Carpool lane is blocked there, trying to get it out of your way. Kind of slow coming up from, well, a little bit before the 71. Not too bad yet. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
Unjunk your sleep during the President's Day sale at Mattress Firm. Shop now and get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with purchase. Don't miss hot buys like beds starting at just $159.99, plus Tempur-Pedic savings. This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Dell's President's Day event has arrived, and it's time to unleash your fun side. For a limited time, save up to $250 on select tech, like Alienware and XPS PCs with the Intel Core processors. Get started at Dell.com/President's Day or by calling 800-BUY-DELL.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Enter your vehicle ID info, answer some questions, then get a no-obligation offer to sell or trade it. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car. Schedule a time and drive away with confidence. For all of the its, KBB.com it.
Want to boost your immunity and protect your community? Get a COVID-19 booster. They help keep you and others safe from the virus and its variants this winter and beyond. If it's been at least 5 months since your last dose of Pfizer or Moderna, or at least 2 months since your last dose of J&J, it's time for a booster. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a booster near you. Let's keep our immunity strong. Get your booster and flu shot while you're at it, too. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Do you have a car you're looking to get rid of? Whether it's old or ancient, Cars for Kids will take your car in any condition. They have over 100 towers ready to pick your car up, and fast. That's why hundreds of thousands of people ditched selling their cars and donated them instead. And their stellar service has earned them an average 4.9 star rating in the process. Try it yourself. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go to carsforkids.com. They don't just say it's convenient. It is convenient. Donate today. 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Remember, that's cars with a K.
Ralph's is proud to be a cornerstone of this great community, providing fresh, nutritious meals all around Southern California. But none of this would be possible without our friendly associates who are always there to meet the needs of our customers when they need it most. At Ralph's, we're a family, and we couldn't do it without the dedication, commitment, and determination of our associates to make this world a better place one day at a time. We are Ralph Strong.
They're all doing the cheap headline nonsense, right?
These people are all surrounded by highly educated, experienced political operatives.
Whose job it is to manipulate your emotions
John and Ken, weekdays at 2
and make you feel comfortable with the candidate.
on KFI.
And welcome back. Bill Handel here. Tuesday morning, February the 15th. We continue Handel on the news, Jennifer, Wayne, and me. And some news just broke, too, with the Olympics with this story.
Yeah, exactly. Russian Kamila Valieva, who is skating despite that positive drug test that came out in December, moved into first place after her short program. And remember, there's all this controversy about now the IOC says, okay, if she medals, she doesn't get to have a medal ceremony. But that also means that everybody else who's medaling doesn't get to have a medal ceremony either. So we'll see what happens in this. But as of right now, she's in first place.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this, too, because this is great. God bless the Russians. Bunch of cheating, duplicitous, stab you in the back athletes. And that's the Russian Olympic Committee, certainly not the athletes themselves. You know, they just bust their hump like other athletes do. And we skipped story 5. So, Jen, or story
4. Yeah, so in just real quickly, and you were talking about the Russian Olympic Committee, and this was a big upset because the gold medal race in the men's team pursuit really didn't have any upsets until the Russian Olympic Committee's path to the finals, beating the Americans to the semifinals. They were beating the heavily favored American trio in the semifinals to advance to the finals, and the ROC ended up finishing in its semifinal with just barely, like a second, edging out the U.S., which clocked in at 1 second after the ROC. Norway, the defending Olympics champion, won then with a final of 3 minutes, 38 seconds.
And this is speed skating.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
all about,
I didn't say that.
That's all about thighs. That's speed skating. Big. All right. Okay, let's just move on. Now, a lot of people are not happy, getting back to Kamila Valieva, a lot of people are not happy that she's allowed to compete. And guess who, understandably, is extremely unhappy? U.S. track and field star Sha'Carri Richardson, who was suspended and therefore could not compete in Tokyo because she used marijuana, which she admitted to. And she's saying, what's the difference here? I am a black lady. She is a white lady. She gets a break. I don't get a break.
Well, there is a difference.
There is, however, another difference.
It's a specific difference.
Yes, which is that Kamila Valieva is underage and is therefore considered what they call a protected person, and therefore gets
the rules are different.
Basically has more rights and more consideration is given.
Right.
So there's the race difference, but there is also an age difference that's relevant here.
Yeah, and marijuana, I don't know why it's a banned substance, because all it does is slow you down. No one gets hyper on marijuana.
They don't consider, it's interesting, they don't consider marijuana a performance-enhancing drug. They consider it a drug of abuse. Whereas what Valieva was taking, the idea is you take it because it can increase your stamina, so it's performance-enhancing. So I'm kind of thinking, if you're talking about the integrity of competition, which one's worse? Isn't taking something that
you would think so,
right, worse than taking something that can't and arguably could even depreciate your performance?
Yeah. And on top of that, the politics of this are astounding. And Russia is not competing in this Olympics. They've been banned. Why? Because they were caught doping 1,000 athletes last time around. State-sponsored right out. Here is the doping. They had lines out the door, big signs that said doping here.
There's also, to me, there's a hint of abuse here because she's 15, right?
Yes.
She doesn't decide on her own she's going to take
that's the point they're saying.
That drug that's supposed to be for heart patients. She doesn't decide that.
And that's exactly the protected class. They're saying that she doesn't have the wherewithal to make that decision.
All right. You guys explain to me, this feels like hearsay, so explain this next story to me. You've got a former LA Angels employee who was accused of giving the drugs to Tyler Skaggs that killed him. He had the overdose death in 2019. Now, according to an ex-employee of the Angels, Eric K., the guy who was facing charges for giving Tyler Skaggs the drugs, he says that Eric K. told him he saw Tyler Skaggs do the 3 lines, I assume of cocaine or something, snort them, and that Tyler Skaggs actually asked him to do drugs with him, and that this guy, Eric K., said no, and that when he left the room, Tyler Skaggs was not in any medical distress. How is this not hearsay? It is. Is it struck down immediately? And
I would think so. You make a motion, you give it, and it gets tossed out. That's not hearsay. Is not allowed. Now, if it was someone who had witnessed Tyler Skaggs actually doing it or saying someone to him, that's direct evidence.
If Eric K. had said, hey, I saw him actually do the drugs, but who's going to say that because you're the guy accused of giving him the drugs?
They give him but also they can give him immunity, too, and, he flips.
All right, law school, you're back at the bar exam without the cocaine this time.
Yeah.
Is it hearsay if it's introduced to simply establish what Eric K. said to the witness, as opposed to trying to establish anything about what Tyler Skaggs did or didn't do?
Yes.
Wow.
You can't testify about what somebody told you?
Of course
to
you can.
establish
of course you
that
can.
they told you that?
Of course. But that's not hearsay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Well,
so if the point is, why are they introducing this testimony? Is it to establish that Tyler Skaggs was using drugs? First of all, they don't need to establish that Tyler Skaggs was using drugs.
Of course, it was in
that is well accepted. But if the point is to say, we are going to prove to you that Eric K. said that he saw this. That's what we're establishing, that Eric K. said it. So here is a witness who he said.
So you're not talking about him saying it. It's that someone witnessed it. Yes, that's... by the way, just to let you know, I completely failed rules of evidence. I just want to let you know.
I guess I'm saying...
It's very complicated stuff.
Assuming the point of it is to establish things that Eric K. said to the witness, then it's not hearsay.
If he is testifying as to...
He is directly testifying to what words that somebody said to him.
You should have taken that section
and
of the bar for
that's why it was allowed, I'm sure. I don't know how it helps anything in terms of proving that Eric K. gave Tyler Skaggs drugs.
There are litigators out there who are spinning right now. I just want to let you know.
I feel like it's my fault. I started it.
Yeah, you did.
By asking questions.
You did. And that is one of the most difficult courses is the rules of evidence, because there are exceptions. There's statement against interest. There are dying declarations. They're all admitted. It's pretty crazy stuff.
Speaking of rules of evidence, prosecution has rested their case in the federal civil rights trial of the ex-cops involved in George Floyd's death.
Yeah. What's the defense on this? That makes any sense whatsoever.
The only thing that I've ever thought that they could possibly say is that Derek Chauvin somehow intimidated them, or...
Yeah, that's not a defense. It's mitigating, but it's not a defense. I mean, they did it. It's one of those things that, even an order by a superior, you have to say no, even if it costs your career. Even if this came out of the Nuremberg trials, and that's the jurisprudence that was established. It does not matter. It's like a cop saying to another cop, go ahead and shoot that person in the back. It's an order. You're going to ignore it. You're going to lose your career. Too bad. You can't do that.
They can say, here's what they can say. Because the gravamen here is that they showed deliberate indifference to his medical needs, and therefore violated his civil rights and died. So they could either try to say, we didn't know he needed. I'm not saying this is a good defense. I'm saying it at least goes to the heart of what the prosecution's trying to prove. We didn't know that he needed immediate medical attention. So we couldn't have been deliberately indifferent to his needs if we didn't know he had those needs.
Now, I have a question, and then we have to take a break. Who called 911? Because clearly, any one of those four cops who did call 911, it would be guilty of knowing that there was medical care. And the fact...
But if they call 911, they're not exhibiting deliberate indifference to his needs. They're calling 911.
After the fact, after he's unconscious...
Wasn't it somebody... I thought it was a bystander.
I don't know the answer to that. But either way, I think they're going to have time proving. And
they're going to have a tough. But that's how you have to attack it.
Yeah, you know,
we didn't even understand that there was anything going on that we could have violated as civil.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very tough argument. You know, you can tell when someone's in distress. Coming up, we've got plenty more handle on the news and maybe some grammar. All right, Jennifer.
A man's been charged in connection with a fire in Whittier that destroyed 2 homes and damaged 4 others.
The LA County DA's office says 55-year-old Kevin Whitlock was charged with 6 counts of arson. The fire broke out Thursday afternoon near Cinco View Drive and East Banyan Rim Drive. Fire officials say the fast-moving fire was fueled by high winds and an upward slope. The DA's office says Whitlock was found that day on a hiking trail and had non-lethal burn injuries. He was taken to a hospital and a short time later arrested. He's in jail on $250,000 bail. Fixed-wing aircraft and more than 200 firefighters were on scene. The fire was 100% surrounded and contained later that night. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
Law enforcement agencies in Southern California are waiting for the specifics of a new hiring law designed to screen for officers with bias. Police employment lawyer in L.A., Paul Nathi, says departments can start early on the final regulations, which are expected to start next month.
Asking my investigator and my psychological examiner for detailed findings, and I would be accessing all of the public-facing social media pages of any applicants for a peace officer job.
Nathi says most agencies were conducting social media checks for bias long before the law went into effect on the 1st of this year. The screenings will continue throughout an officer's career, similar to physical and mental fitness assessments. An actor's been sentenced in Los Angeles to 20 years in prison for running a $650 million Ponzi scheme by faking film deals. Prosecutors say Zachary Horowitz convinced more than 250 investors their money would be financed distribution rights for movies that would run on HBO and Netflix. Horowitz was also ordered to pay $230 million in restitution. Russia's parliament has voted to appeal to Putin to recognize the independence of Russia-controlled republics in Ukraine. It's a move widely seen to be laying the groundwork for war.
Diplomacy, though, does continue here this morning. Germany's Chancellor is here for talks with Vladimir Putin. He will surely be looking for some answers about that vote and trying to work out what the Russian president intends to do.
ABC's James Longman says the vote will be met with outrage in Ukraine. The Biden administration is going to invest $5 billion to help create electric vehicle charging stations across the nation. As part of the president's bipartisan infrastructure bill, the EV program will give funding to states that qualify over a 5-year period. And a Navy sailor from San Diego killed in the attack on Pearl Harbor has been identified after 80 years.
Harry Walker was one of more than 400 people on the USS Oklahoma killed in the 1941 attack. The military was only able to identify 35 of them a few years after the attack. However, thanks to advances in DNA and forensic technology, the Department of Defense has been able to identify more remains. Walker will be buried in California next month. Blake Trolley, KFI News.
We'll check traffic on the 405 in a moment.
The Clippers took advantage of the Golden State Warriors' multi-game defensive meltdown with 6 LA players scoring in double digits on the way to a 119-104 win. LA moves over to Phoenix to face the Suns at 7 o'clock live on AM 570 LA Sports. And if you're looking for a little more local wintry sport, the Kings host the Edmonton Oilers at 7:30. You can listen to that match on the iHeartRadio app. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
The Light Source Whole House Water Filtration System, I think, is the best system out there. I have one at home, have for years, absolutely love it. And when I say whole house, the water starts from the outside. It's filtered outside your home. So by the time it gets in, every faucet, every tap produces this great tasting, refreshing, highly filtered water. And I'll tell you what it's good at. Well, everything. It removes chlorine, chloramines, and the harsh chemicals, reduces problems caused by hard water. Out of every tap, you get this water. And believe me, there is a difference. You're cooking with it. You taste the difference. If you buy bottled water, you can kiss that one goodbye. And keep in mind, you're doing dishes and clothes in it, too. That's the whole house water filtration system. And there's absolutely no maintenance of any kind. You install this thing, you're done. You can forget about it other than use this great water. Call 800-334-5009, 800-334-5009. Visit LifeSourceWater.com, LifeSource Water. You can taste and feel the difference.
SoCal weather from KFI, a high surf advisory and wind advisory in effect. Both start at 10 this morning. Highs today will just be in the mid-50s to lower 60s under mostly cloudy skies with a slight chance of showers. Let's check your commute on the 405.
You betcha. Be careful now if you are north on the 405 coming through the 605 ahead of you at the 710 Long Beach Freeway. Possible stall. Getting a lot of calls about this. Possible stall right in the middle of the freeway, so do be careful going through. After that, slow but at least moving to LAX. Chino's still a problem now. This is the West 60 past the 71. Around Phillips Ranch Road, you had a car in lanes there, slow from before the 71. And going through the Covinas now, the westbound 10 at Citrus, kind of a long plane problem. It's on the shoulder. It's a little slow, but a new problem's just coming up. South 605, just past the 10, fast lane block. I'll follow up on that for you. Don't go away. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
Dell's President's Day event has arrived, and it's time to unleash your fun. For a limited time, save up to $250 on select tech, like A1 and PCs with Intel Core processors. Get started at Dell.com/President's Day or by calling 800-BY-DELL.
Being a leader is the art of empowering others, and Norm Reeves Honda Superstore is leading you to a super experience during the Norm Reeves President's Day event. Still hearing new vehicles are hard to come by? Shop our super selection of new Hondas, or reserve your model of choice from our incoming shipments. Have your sights set on buying pre-owned? Choose from hundreds of used and certified pre-owned vehicles. Also, swap your old ride and enjoy a super experience with our fast and fair appraisals. Get the vehicle you want now and see how it's easy to take the lead from the driver's seat. Hurry in for the Norm Reeves President's Day event going on all month long. Visit our super award-winning Norm Reeves Honda Superstore locations in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Vista. Shop online at normreeves.com.
That's a goal behind him. One, two, you know what you gotta do. Just one thing you should do, and that's Morongo. And now the top 5 reasons for better Morongo. Number 5.
There's a party in the pit. All players at your table could win up to $100 in promo chips from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Friday.
Number 4.
President's Day freebie. Rewards members get a presidential keychain the 21st.
3.
Treasure gift giveaway. Get a multi-cooker when you earn 500 points on your rewards card on the 22nd.
And the number 2.
$500 drawing. $500 cash every half hour playing table games with the rewards card. Wednesday to Thursday, 3 to 10 p.m.
And the number 1 reason.
The world is going for gold. You should too. Watch all the events on big screens everywhere you eat, stay, and play.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times.
I'm attorney Darren Kavanoki from 1-800-NO-CUT. Can you do the alphabet backwards? Z-Y-S-W-Z. Yeah, try doing that by the side of the road. So if you get pulled over, don't wing it. Call us at 1-800-NO-CUT.
Joining us today, Scott Painter, CEO and co-founder of Autonomy. It's a new company that's right here in LA that offers car subscription. The whole idea behind a subscription was being able to simplify the transaction and make it easy.